All right. Well, hello and welcome to another weekly edition of Happy Hour with the Lincoln. This is where week by week I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions, rant about certain stock market topics, and maybe tell you a story here and there just to entertain you and help you become a more professional, successful, and well-rounded trader. So if you guys need help with your trading out there, take a moment, visit this link right here and you can start trading with us live. Now, I have a special announcement I'm going to make right before we get started in today's talk, and that is it's that time of year. And some of you already know what time of the year it is. It is, cheers, to Minicamp time. Now, Minicamp is one of my courses I do 2 times a year. It's a really nice course for everybody to get an understanding about trading strategies, why trading strategies work, scanning, and all that good stuff. It's a great course. And in this, I talk about 4 of my main trading strategies. And again, not just why this strategy is here, how you find the strategy, but why does this strategy actually work? What's the components behind making a strategy like this work? Because knowing that will help your win rate increase. Now, by your requests and popular demand, what I've done this time around is I've added 4 of my favorite option strategies. So in this course, I'm going to be talking about 4 of my favorite stock trading strategies and 4 of my favorite options trading strategies. So we're going to start this course on April 8th. I'm going to post a link right here where you can get a little bit more detail about it. There's also a video here if you look on the channel that I did before last year's Minicamp, but you can go ahead and watch that too. Now I'm going to do an early bird enrollment as well. So anybody that enrolls from now until April 1st, you'll get a 25% discount. You also, by enrolling into the Minicamp, will get a copy of the free DVD, not the rock solid DVD that's free, but the Trading as an Art DVD, and you get free access to our live trading room. Now, I think this is really important because unlike other courses where you're like watching the course that's pre-recorded, this course is done live. And then you get to see how these strategies play out in a real-time environment. Plus, there's a ton of other features. Visit that link right there. Minicamp is starting. Hope I see each and every one of you there. So here's what I'm going to talk about. Stretching out again. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I unfortunately made the mistake by saying I was a stock trader, which I hate to do. Now, I've talked about this before. When people ask me what I do for a living, I try not to tell them I trade stocks because they bombard me with stupid, senseless stock market questions. It's not their fault. I understand. They always want the next hot tip, or they have some sort of, I don't know. I just don't want to talk about it. I'd rather tell them I was a landscaper or a construction worker so I don't even have to talk about the stock market because I don't even like talking about it while I'm not working. But anyway, one of the things I've noticed, and when people find out what it is I do for a living, after they get the kind of Jordan Belfort boiler room image out of their mind, they always say, hey, you must be good at math. You must be good at accounting. You must be really good at numbers or reading. And I think, hell no, I'm not at all. So I know there's a lot of people out there who's either thinking about trading stocks right now or you're starting trading. Some of you have traded here for a little while and you're kind of wondering, hey, what are the right type of skill sets that a trader needs? Now, I thought before I got into it, you had to have, like, what kind of level of intelligence do you have to be a successful stock market trader? What's the most important types of intelligence? Let's go with that. Now, when I first started, I thought, math is what you needed. Now, I'm not going to say math is not good. If you know math, that's great. Good for you. But I think if you're unless you're programming code and you're doing algos or something like that, you don't really need to know too much math when it comes to trading. You also don't need to have an accounting background or anything like that unless you're going to do some sort of significant long-term investing or your primary source of the way you trade and make money is going to come from reading financial statements. If that works for you, then do it. And I'm not saying that those are not beneficial things to have in trading, but I don't think that's necessary for you to have those to be successful. Now, one of the things I have been fortunate is I've been around a lot of successful and unsuccessful traders, and I notice patterns between the successful ones and the patterns between the not so successful ones. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things I think are the most important character traits, the most important qualities that someone could have within themselves that will make them or help them or at least put them in the higher ratio of being a successful trader. So if you have these, then you have the makings to be successful. You just need a few things to line up for you. And the first one of those, I think this goes for any business that you ever get into, any endeavor that you get into. The number one thing I would say is you have to be relentless. I mean, relentless as you possibly can be. Your psyche has to be relentless. Your drive has to be relentless, because when you first start out trading, you're going to love the stock market. It just is the way it is. You just want to consume all of this knowledge, consume all of this information, and eventually you're going to get burnt out on it real quick. It doesn't last. You're going to have this love-hate relationship eventually with the market. And you're going to realize the only way that you can stay in something like this is you're going to have the drive and the passion to do so. Because, as a self-employed individual, when the alarm clock goes off in the morning, no one's telling you have to get up. You do not have to be anywhere. You work from home. You can just roll out of bed and start to work. That can be complicated. It also can be difficult for some of you that do work at home. If you're working at home for the first time, is to leave the devices. It's nice when you're sitting at home. Like when I first started working at home, it was hard for me not to watch television because the television's in the living room and you're always going to the refrigerator and all that kind of stuff. So you've got to be a relentless individual. And relentless also means that, again, regardless of what it is that you do, you're going to have setbacks. You're going to suffer through some traumatic experiences. And I don't mean that to be a negative. I'm just trying to tell you guys the truth. I know you're always being sold it's so easy and everybody has a good day. That's bullshit, and you know it. We're human beings. We go through emotions. Yes, we can control them, but it doesn't mean we don't feel them. And you're going to be pissed off. You're going to lose money. You're going to get your ass beat on some certain things. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to look like an idiot sometimes. Our market's going to make you feel inferior. And you're going to have to get back up. That's the only way you make back losses, is just by making good trades after that. Is brushing it off and coming back at it. And for many people, they follow sort of my line of the way my trading career went. Is I started, I quit, I started, I quit, I started, I quit, until eventually I got it. So it's like this back and forth process. So you got to be relentless. And again, like I've said in a lot of these other videos, I'm not using that as a negative, okay? I want you to be prepared for that, because that's what you have to have. And it doesn't matter whether you want to be a trader, you want to be a real estate agent, or a real estate investor, a social media marketing guru with a Lamborghini doing commercials. You have to be relentless. I mean, you got to have pride and passion and pursue those goals and be able to get back up after all of your disasters. So that to me would be the number one trait or quality of any successful person, is relentless, because you're going to suffer an enormous amount of setbacks in anything that you choose. You have to keep moving forward. The other part is you don't need the math and the accounting. What you need is to be decisive if you are a trader. Now, see, what we do is something completely different than an investor. Like I said, if you're going to invest in stocks, then maybe you want to read that financial statement. Maybe that's important about retained earnings and profit margins, and you need to understand those accounting things. But when you're a trader and you're talking about something that's going to last from maybe 1 minute to a couple of hours, you don't really have time to read all of that. How you trade is based off of price action. So it's not about math. It's not about science. Well, there's some sort of a science to it, but not that kind of science. It's not it takes a degree from Harvard, but you have to be able to read price action. And most of us use charts to do so. That tells us where there are buyers, where there are sellers, where a stock may trade to, where a stock may sell down to. And we use these levels. Now, every trader has a process to when they see a certain setup. A strategy is also a setup. When you see these charts where they go into a certain number, you have an idea of a trade. We've talked about this before, the idea, execution, and management, but you'll have an idea. You will see something, and when you see that the next thing that you will see, you probably can forecast, when I see this is normally what happens after I see that. When I see this lineup, this is normally what happens after I see that. You have to be decisive, and you have to be able to make those decisions quickly. The moment that you see them, you have to be able to make those decisions with no emotions. This is why I've often used the analogy as the professional football quarterback compares to a trader. And I mean that in this way. If you've heard this before, great. If you haven't, this will be good for you. When you talk about a professional quarterback, every single one of them who gets into the NFL, they all have a good arm, right? They all can throw the ball very far. They're also very accurate. I mean, they all were starting quarterbacks in college. These are all incredible athletes with incredible talent, and they have a strong enough arm, strong enough body, great enough accuracy to play at that level. And they're all good in practice. The difference is when you start throwing in all of the variables, like you put the 500-pound big lineman running at you, people running all over wanting to take your head off, the crowd screaming, the elements of the weather, and then you have to make a decision like that. That's what separates the average or the person sitting on the bench from the Hall of Famers. It's their ability to make decisions. It's not their athletic ability so much, it's their mental ability. So you have to have that, and that comes with decision making. You have to be able to make decisions like that as a trader, because things will come up all of the sudden and you'll have to be able to react. And that's one of the interesting things about our job, because you'll sit around a lot and do nothing at all and you'll be like falling asleep. And then all of a sudden an opportunity will kind of gives you that fight or flight response. Your endorphins all of a sudden rush because you've been in this docile mood. And then all of a sudden this great opportunity shows up and you just, oh. So you have to be able to take yourself from that level into your trading level and then just be decisive. And the last one I want to talk about is honesty. You have to be honest with yourself. And what I mean by honesty is, I've made reference several times during this talk that you're going to get your ass kicked. Something's going to go wrong. You trade stocks, something's going to go wrong eventually. And that's okay. And then you're going to get into these periods where you're not so sure you're any good at this. You just have to be honest with yourself. You have to look yourself in the mirror if you're trying something and it's not working. If you're not making money, you have to just be honest with yourself and go, look, man, it's not that it doesn't work for someone else. It just doesn't work for me. That's just the way it is. I have to find out what works for me. Or, I'm in a really, really bad rut. I've got to find a way to pull myself out with. I can't make excuses. I can't say, oh, these algos chewed me out of my money. Oh, the market makers screwed the bid and ask and I got a bad fill. Oh, my broker didn't fill me at this and slippage and it cost me a good win. Yes, those things are going to they're going to happen, But overall, that's not going to be the reason why you become a successful or a losing trader. You're going to have issues you have to deal with, but you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be honest with yourself of why you're here, where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there in between. I mean, that's important. And then you're going to have to be honest with yourself about what kind of career you're in, what it is that you're actually doing, and your contributions to society, your contributions to your family. So remember those things. To me, that's what's the most important part. It's not being a super intelligent mathematician, unless you're just creating algos. You don't need to be a computer nerd. You just need to be a person that has drive, that has passion, and wants something special out of life. And you're willing to take the chance. And you're willing to go through what other people are just too big of sissies to go through. Bottom line, you need to be honest with yourself and you need to be decisive. If you have those qualities, man, you can be a stock trader. You can enjoy this amazing, incredible, wonderful, unlimited life. But you won't know unless you have those. So think about that. Again, guys, I'm going to call it quits and drink my whiskey on this beautiful spring afternoon. Don't forget about Minicamp. I'll post the link up here again. As always, trade well. Until the next happy hour, cheers.